got your brick beds at the back. We have got the tin beds here. You might have made some rockery kind of beds at home or something with some logs on either side, but we need to get soil. So this is one of the ways that we can actually get soil. Are you excited?
I'm
so excited.
Beck's very excited. Okay, so we've got our little recipe here.
Read it out. Appropriate ground treatment. Yay, tick. Dry leaves and mulch. Tick. Grass clippings, weeds, prunings. Tick. We got that. Straw, got that. Sheep manure, got that. Straw, got that. Cow manure, got that. Pea straw, got that. Mushroom compost. Look at all those plants growing there on the top. All right, let's put it together. We'll start at the bottom.
Appropriate ground treatment. So we're really lucky here. We've basically got it on a weed-free area with a bit of sand and a bit of mulch, so we're able to start without too much problem. If you're doing this on a lawn, you might want to pull out the lawn, especially if it's couch, or you might want to lay a whole pile of newspapers and cardboard, and we're looking at about this thick. My recommendation is to lay the cardboard and the newspaper along the edge of the bed like this as well, so that you're making a sort of a box for your soil to be sitting in. Okay. Let's say doing this on a driveway or some sort of surface that is impervious, you might want to put down some leaves and sticks and some branches, something that's going to allow the bottom to aerate a bit. So we've prepared our appropriate ground treatment. We're now going to go to the bottom layer. So this recipe is actually a little bit like a lasagna. We actually start at the bottom layer. We've put a little bit of tomato sauce on the bottom, and we're actually going to start with some dry leaves or some mulch. Now we're very lucky because I happen to have just out of shot there some mulch. So Beck, do you want to go over and maybe just tip that whole wheelbarrow load of mulch in?
Sure.
You're going to hold the recipe? Beck's doing the work. Okay. That's great. In we go with that mulch. Now if you can't find some mulch, any dry leaves or anything that you can find, we're basically looking at a carbon base. So, and we want it to be about 10 centimeters thick. So I usually just use my hand. It's probably a bit more than 10 centimeters, but I think about 10 centimeters that way and about 5 centimeters the other way, because we're going to do some layers that are 5 centimeters. So we've got a beautiful bed for our soil. And then what's our next layer? It says grass clippings, weeds or pruning. I have to have done a bit of work. A little bit of weeding. So again, we want about 10 centimeters grass clippings. We've got an old chili plant here. Okay, so for those who've done composting, gee, we've got some dry ingredients, now some wet ingredients, and then we're going to add straw, so another layer of dry. So I've got some straw here. Come around that. So we're going to want that, whoop, go on both sides. We're going to want that about 10 centimeters. Now as we go along here, I've got another job for Scott. We're just going to get that hose and we're going to keep it quite damp as we go along. So put the recipe down, Scott, and we'll pull it up as we need it. But we're going to want to make sure that that layer's quite wet. What's the next layer, Beck?
The next layer is some sheep manure.
Sheep manure. Now when you're working with... Oh, thanks for that, Scott.
One for Daisy.
So when we're working with manures, we really need to be a little bit careful about some of the microorganisms, especially those that are airborne. And sheep is a classic for it, because usually when you get it, buy it in one of these big bags like this. So we're looking for a 5 centimeter layer of sheep manure, and I'm going to get my face mask, which we've all got lots of at the moment.
Hey,
Sit.
You, hand over all your sheep manure.
Okay. Move it around. We're doing some, and then needs a big drink. We can probably just about water it continuously. Okay, so 10 centimeters, 5 centimeters of sheep. What's next?
And then we have some more straw.
Some more straw. Okay. 10 centimeters of straw. If you're having trouble writing down this recipe, don't worry. I'll send it to you. So as far as the wetness goes, we're kind of hurrying through this because of the video, but what you're going to want is a bit like your compost, a wrung out sponge. Okay, so we're really aiming for that amount of wetness, and that's going to help this to kind of break down. Straw,
Then some cow manure.
cow manure. Now, people say, does it have to be in this order? Does it have to be these type of manures? And it doesn't really. Any manures that are going to be able to rot down are good, and the best thing to do is to do this maybe with a neighbour and get like a trailer load of mixed manures, or you can buy them bagged up like this. Cows usually not. The cow. I'm not too sure why I'm doing this when I've got these young great helpers here, but anyway, get that wet too, Scott. Squirt that down, buddy. Smelling luscious already. Okay, so that was our cow manure, and our next layer is pea straw. Scissors. Might need one more here. So straw is cut dry and pea straw is cut wet. So pea straw's got more nitrogen in it than the straw does, and we're basically just using a bit of a mixture. For those, again, 2/3 dry, 1/3 wet. It's a little bit like making compost. Quite a rich pile at the end. Fluff it all up. Okay, and our last layer is some mushroom compost. There we go. But mushroom compost is basically some sort of animal manure that has been fed to some mushrooms, so it's already really well broken down. Probably should have got 2 bags, but you'll get the idea. So as you saw from that picture that I showed you of Beck, gardening for vegetables, we really only need soil about 30 to 40 centimetres deep. I might turn that off so the noise is better. 30 to 40 centimetres deep. And what will happen with this mix is it'll be about 60 to 70 centimetres tall, and then it'll break down as it composts down. So it composts down to a really rich soil medium for your plants to be able to grow in. You're not going to want to plant anything in it straight away because it does get quite hot, and so it's going to actually burn any plants that you might put in there. Some people make a hole and put some normal dirt in there and put the plant in. I've never had much success doing that, but hey, give it a go. So basically what you have now here is the beginning of your soil that you're going to be able to create. It's very similar to what permaculturists call the sheet method. So what they do is lay down some newspaper or cardboard, and they basically build up manures and straw, and very similar to what we've done here. Again, this will be ready in about 6 weeks, and what that means is you can get your seeds ready, have your seedlings all ready to be able to plant in here, and we'll talk about doing seeds and seedlings next week. So the only thing we do have to add to this is some water, which Scott's going to do with the hose, but we don't want to be using the hose all the time. So in a moment we'll show you how to actually put some retic and lay some retic in this bed so that you can not having to get out there with the hose all summer watering your veggies. So there's probably lots of questions about this, so we'll close off now, have a few questions, and then we'll come back and retic the bed.
So Shani, you're saying that this talk's a bit boring, and Beck, what did you reckon?
I reckon we should do some bloopers.
Right, because if you do it like exciting and interesting all the time, then exciting becomes the new normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want exciting to be the new normal.
No, otherwise...
So we did this one really straight.
Yep.
And we're hoping to like bore you to death.
And the next time you see it, it's going to be really exciting.
So when you see us for retic, you're just going to be leaping out of your seat.
Yeah, it'll be better than watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, hey Rebecca, what do you got here?
I've just made my new garden bed. Do you like it?
It looks awesome.
Cool.
What are these big long pieces of timber for? Why don't you just cut them off?
Well, I left them on for a very good reason. And the reason is I can put some strings up in summer or winter to hold my beans or tomatoes up. Or maybe in summer it might get a little bit too hot and I can put a nice shade cloth to protect my veggies.
Oh, that'll be perfect for Perth when it gets really scorching.
Yeah.
Can't wait for your summer garden.
Neither. Maybe we can share some tomatoes.
Delicious.
Okay.
I'm bored, aren't
All right. Scott, away you go.
I? G'day. Oh, dang it. How did we start last time? Hey Rebecca!
Tony, can you explain about the sheet method again?
The sheet method.
Yeah, you said it's what the permaculturists call sheet method.
Are you being serious or? Okay.
So the reason you call it the sheet method is you use all different kinds of sheet.
Thanks for that, Tim.